I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm here and ready to help you with any questions or information you might need. How about you?
I think Agent 3 by Replit is better than Claude Code, Codex, Manus, Cursor. All of that, maybe even combined, it is better. Today, we're going to talk about Replit and we're going to test it out again. So they have announced Agent 3, the most recent version of their amazing agent. And remember, there's an assistant as well. But the focus on their announcement was on the agent. So it is something, if you tested before, if you worked with it, you know how good it is. And it's one platform where you can build, test, attach databases, deploy, like A to Z. You can develop A to Z in one place. So I want to test the Agent 3. But today I wanted to give it a bigger challenge. At least in my opinion, some people might say this is not the right way to test an agent. I want to do it this way. And the thing we're going to do is I have a working application on Replit and it's an audio configurable assistant. So basically I have a configuration page where I can play with my configuration of my assistant, voice assistant. I can tell it how to behave and what it does exactly, what it should deliver to the audience. And then that assistant is ready to go. And I can run it and start talking to it. So the one I've built has many issues. I'm not satisfied with the UI. I have tried to upgrade it with the older agent to the new real-time API that was just recently dropped by OpenAI with their audio-to-audio new GPT real-time model, and it failed to do so. It's still working. I'm going to show you quickly how it looks, how it works, but I want to see if Agent 3 is really that good to go in, understand the context of the app, and then fix it all for me. So that's a big test. I'm gonna lazy prompt this. Now, the application on Replit, because the older agent is smart enough to keep documenting the context, so it will see the context within the root files. So that's there. I will just ask it with a lazy prompt, which is not recommended, I guarantee you in AI, to read all of that, analyze the code base, and achieve that next level for that application. It's a long shot, and if you see this, probably it's going to be positive or close to positive result. So I hope you enjoy the episode. If you don't know me, my name is Samer. I love AI. I have one goal is to get as many people as I can to be part of the top 1% in AI. If you want to be part of that, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it. I hope you enjoy it. And with this and without any further ado, let's get started.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. The mic.
Okay, so here I am on Replit, and this is some changes happened. We're gonna see that. Minor things, but really nice things, I think. When you log in now, you can see some more information around their announcement, especially introducing Agent 3. And now let's go to my application. So the first thing you notice is that there's a new look. They reorganized the way you work within the project, which I think is neat. And you can see here already, I have a flag that this is the Agent 3, which is encouraging. So I'm sure now when I prompt it, I'm dealing with that newer agent, okay? And you can see I work with both assistant and agent at the same time. And here on the left, you have your open file tabs. So you can, for example, have a preview, look into your Gits, anything that you open, including database, you can see here. And now the files or folders are safely tucked into the right. So if you want to see the actual files of the project, you just click here and you get all the files. And you see it's a well-developed project with lots of documentation, lots of archiving that I did just to save some of these learnings we got from iterations, making mistakes with the agent. Let me start the agent for you. I want to show you the UI as a reference. I want to actually get you to hear it and see how it works. So when we actually prompt Agent 3 or lazy prompt Agent 3 to fix everything, do magic for us, we can compare to where it started. So you can judge for yourself how good Agent 3 is. Okay, so this is my voice configurable voice assistant. Now I've built many of those. I enjoy them a lot. I should maybe build my own application when it comes to voice agents. So what I've done basically while playing with this is a voice assistant that you can configure. So you can go to agent settings here and you can give it a name. So let's call this one, for example, Sam. And then you can select what type of it. These are just pre-built templates. So let's go for the educational tutor. You can select it's all based on real time. So you can select the OpenAI voice. So let's go with Onyx, and you can ask it, for example, to respond concisely in a detailed manner or moderate. So let's keep it concise. Language you can select here. I kept it to English, and you can even play with the temperature, and you can actually plug in your prompt. So I'm going to leave it at the template. You are an educational tutor and the learning assistant, helps students understand concepts. So basically it's a teacher, okay? External tools here, this is just status dashboard that tells you what's connected, what's not. Some services updates here, okay, some advanced features for voice. Once you're done, you save the configuration, you get that notification saved, you go back. Now we're gonna start it. And the first problem that I couldn't solve, and I've seen many people have it, is when you build these OpenAI based assistants, they sometimes get confused and start talking to you in some different language. Either I'm leaking some tokens through the application, through bad code, which gets the assistant to use non-English language, or it's actual noise around you. But here I'm in a super noise-free area, so it shouldn't be the issue. So let me start the application so you can hear the assistant, how good it is. And all the connections here for the audio is done through LiveKit, which is a very good service. If you don't know about it, look it up. But essentially, we're dealing with the real-time API. So let's hit start. I tried to connect it, by the way. I don't think it got connected to the new real-time audio-to-audio GPT real-time model. I think we're still at the older version of it. I didn't do the upgrade, or the agent couldn't do the upgrade yet. So let's start it and see how it goes.
Me alegra mucho saludarte. Hola, ¿cómo te puedo ayudar hoy?
So you see, it started speaking Spanish. That's the problem I couldn't solve. Sometimes it starts French. Even I think I got a couple of times in Chinese. So now I can tell it to speak in English, and it will, because I'm connected to the real time. So this is one of the problems I couldn't actually address. Let me just show you how it's good. I mean, let me show you how it works. And then we'll go to Agent 3 and see if Agent 3 can really upgrade this whole thing to the new real time and make it much better. So tell me what you can do for me.
Claro, estoy aquí para
English,
ayudarte con...
please.
I can help you understand concepts from different subjects, explain things in simple terms, and give you study tips or strategies. I can also help you find recent information online.
What's
and
your
even-
name, by the way?
I don't have a name like a person would, but you can just call me your learning assistant.
Okay, so even it's not seeing the configuration data of its own name. I think that is something that I broke while trying to fix it. Let me actually refresh one more time. I want to see if it also recorded my session, because the system should capture sessions. Yeah, it's capturing the session. I have a session ID. That is a good thing. So now I'm going to go back to Replit. I'm going to start a new chat with the Agent 3. I will prompt it. I'll take you through the prompt, and then we see what we get. Okay, so I've cleaned up the view just to keep the basically preview here, and then the agent. And you can see I have added the prompt. It's a detailed one. And I as well used Git, which is amazing on Replit, by the way, to walk back to the version where I didn't even attempt to add the new real time. So we're dealing with an application that has no documentation of the newer real-time GPT real-time model or real-time API. It's working based on its current level of performance and issues. And we want to upgrade it and fix it. And the reason I did that is even to make it more challenging. Now, I will take you through the prompt. If you're new to vibe coding, this is not how you vibe code. When you vibe code, in a nutshell, you create a plan, you ask the AI to create a plan for you, a detailed plan for your project, and you start walking with it step by step in micro actions. If you give it this kind of, I don't think even this is a lazy prompt. It's a detailed prompt, but this is lazy in the perspective that I'm asking it to do everything at once. So this usually doesn't work, and this is really challenging the Agent 3 capabilities. If it pulls it through, honestly, it could be a literal breakthrough in vibe coding, because I know for a fact, not Codex, not Claude Code, as they operate today, do these things. If I give this to Claude Code or Codex, 99%, especially with a voice application, a voice agent, they will butcher the hell of that application and it will not work. So let me read the prompt. This is a project I built that is configurable voice agent based on real-time API. I need you to perform a complete code audit and do the following. Start by reading all MD files to learn context, history, and be aware of any stored docs on LiveKit and real-time API. I need you to go through, so this is the blog by OpenAI introducing the new real-time API end of August. So it's just an introductory type of article. Understand the newly introduced real-time API based on the new GPT real-time model. Find any needed documentations, examples on GitHub from OpenAI official account, whatever is needed to make sure this application is upgraded to work with the new real-time API. I need you also to look for gaps and fix them. For example, are all configurations in the configuration panel managed properly and made available to voice agent as it answers? Also, with upgraded real-time API, are there any new configurations we need or can add that will make this app better? And the fourth is, I want you to solve the problem of the agent starting conversations in non-English language. And this is not happening because of noise. It is something within the app, most probably. Lastly, I'm telling it, reevaluate the UI and UX of the app, which is, in my opinion, basic and can be much better. Please upgrade to be 10x better. Okay, and if you didn't use Replit before I run this prompt, you can select some configurations here. These are new features, by the way. Okay, so I can have app testing. So I wanted to test the app for me. Max at autonomy. So it depends on scope of agent tasks to maximize autonomy. Recommended for larger apps. That's interesting. I didn't see this. So this is with the new upgrade. And then high power model. You know, I'm going to spend some money for you for this demo, but I need to get it to work. So, okay, let's look at other configuration. Web search is needed. Image generation is not. So, you know, I'm connecting everything here, and this costs money. So with core membership, you get super generous credit from Replit. But when you deal with these high effort or high thinking models or reasoning models, especially something like Opus 4.1, they consume lots of money in tokens. So even for Replit, at some point, they're going to have to charge you. So this will cost money doing it for you, and I hope you get a good result. So here goes nothing. I'm going to run it, and once it's done testing, done developing, I'm going to run it again as an application. I'll give you my opinion. You create yours, and we'll see how it goes. And here we go. So you can see first thing it does, again, if you're new to Replit, it will create that kind of snapshot. So this will go into the Git system. So anything that it does here, it's always safe. You don't even need to think about version control. You don't even need to use the command line like you use when you're developing on VS Code or Cursor or something else. Here it does everything for you automatically. So it's already thinking, and I think it's already looking for the document files. It goes to replit.md. So this is your claude.md or agents.md in OpenAI Codex or Claude Code, where it can read everything around the project. And it did research on the new OpenAI GPT. Okay, so it probably scraped that page, I hope. And now it's searching the web, because that page, that blog doesn't give everything. It has lots of links, but actually, if it's a human developer doing that work, they would read that blog to get an idea. They would go to the documentation, maybe go to see the cookbook of OpenAI on GitHub, start getting some snippets of code, start building that the whole thing up. So this is how it would be done. I'm not sure how accurate its search is. You can see now it already visited the site, introducing GPT real time. You know, the critical part is finding the real resources, either using some of the links already in that blog or searching the internet and selecting the right link. It is hard, by the way. If you test it yourself, if you go to Google, at least do a Google search, you will struggle to really navigate to the right spot with the newest real-time API documentation. The smartest thing it would do is just click the links there, which will go to the generic, I think, I'm not sure, but the generic OpenAI documentation. Within the left side panel there, it has to navigate to multiple things. It has to go to real-time API, and they recommend in that text to connect real-time API through Agents SDK, so it has to go to that. So it will have to navigate multiple things to really get the context for upgrading to the new real-time. It is, I think, basically just going over the points I highlighted, analyzing them, studying them, and then strategizing on the plan, and then it will start executing. So it's already updating. You can see updating the agent model and configuration. So it's going into cycles of planning and executing. That's interesting. That already happens. It's just, I think, the accuracy of the information it processes and the way it approaches the code and navigates the code. So I think that's the critical part, that they probably did something there to fine-tune how the model behaves. So the models are already out there, but the way they behave needs lots of hand-holding. So this is why I told you in the beginning, when you vibe code, you have to do it like micro action. So you have to handhold the model, which is super powerful, and then go on the items you want to execute one by one, make sure it's doing them right, it's validating and testing, and it's not breaking anything else. So that's the kind of process you have to do. Now, if Replit figured out how to do that just by a prompt like this, so their Agent 3 actually does that on behalf of the human, this is a whole new level. I hope this will work out, because it will be probably the easiest conclusion I make for an AI video ever. So quick update, it's been nearly 8 minutes and still going. And the interesting thing, I can see it testing and it getting certain fails and creating new strategies. So this for sure will hurt my pocket, but it's super interesting. I will not stop it. I want to see the end result. So it already is behaving in a way that is surprisingly human-like, in a way that it's checking, doing, trying to understand the behavior of the code, checking again, fixing things. So it's not doing things in a consistent, if that makes sense, a consistent behavior. It's not just applying the same behavior. It actually is adapting. I think this is how it looks when just reading the updates I'm getting from the agent, as if it's adapting to the work it is doing on the application and the testing it runs locally. Super interesting. Let's see where this goes. I just want to show you this. See what it wrote here. Let me fix this error by breaking this into separate edits. I will start with rewrite the main language prompts function. Okay, so you can see it's adapting. So this is an error, it fades twice, and now it's just thinking out loud, okay, let me try this new thing and approach it in a different way. Okay, it's still working. It's taking a good amount of time. One super encouraging thing, see the line here? Now let me add support for the new voices, Cedar and Marine. I hope this is how it's pronounced. But I know for a fact that these two new voices were added with the new real-time API. So this is a really encouraging step that it actually got the new real-time API, and it's actually now leveraging the GPT real-time model, which is a voice-to-voice newest model for real-time usage. So this is super encouraging. I'm gonna let it go until it's done and it's telling me I can test. So let's see how things go. It's at least now 20 minutes consistently running as an agent. And you can see here on the top, we're at task 4 out of 7. There are 3 tasks to go and we didn't touch yet the UI. So let's see how that goes. So already I've hit my credit. You can see this notification. I've hit my credit. I'm gonna keep going. It's good that I give Replit lots of room to spend on my behalf. It's that good. Just reminding you, I'm spending lots of money to show you this video, so do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're still here enjoying it and waiting like I am to see the end result of the Agent 3 trying to upgrade this application all at once with one single prompt. Okay, so it's been going for at least 35 minutes. I want to show you, this is something I saw Amjad Mas'ad talk about these kind of browsing features in AI dev systems. and how it doesn't really work, and it doesn't. It's not the best thing yet, and you cannot depend on it. And they created their own. He said they created their own. I'm assuming this is what he's talking about. So the model now is actually going and looking at the site in their own browsing feature to view all of the changes. I'm going to show you the end result altogether. I didn't test anything, still running, but you can see it did revamp the whole UI. And I think it is definitely much better. And now it is even testing the connectivity of the agent. You can see here it is still disconnected, so it's just, I don't know what it's doing. It's just trying to put it maybe online and test it and see if it's working. We'll have to test on our own and see how that goes. But clearly they have now their own technology in browsing. You can see now it's clicking, it's going to configuration. Let's see how it continues that step. We are already at step 6 out of 7. So I'm assuming it's just doing some testing. Once the testing is done, it will close. Wow, again, I keep hopping into these quick updates until we do our own demoing. It created the dashboard. Like, I can't imagine the level. Like, it had so many errors, and it addressed every single one of them. This is something else. I've never seen this. Even Manus, something like Manus, is not at this level. I think it's done. Let's give it a little bit. I think it's done, and it might be the time for us to test ourselves now. Okay, we are finally done, and you need to see this with your own eyes. This is a 1 hour, 8 minute of work. The agent continuously ran for 1 hour. I've never seen this before. This is a big thing, okay, already. I want to show you my usage just for you to see how much I invested to show you this. And I still didn't test myself. I am really hopeful this will work out. So I've consumed the $25 of my credit per month. So that's out. I will not use Replit this month again. And on top of that, I spent nearly $30. So it cost me this 1 hour $55. And I do not think it is too much. I actually think Replit is optimizing the models they use in the background. So I selected basically a high reasoning model. I do not think it actually always used it. So it optimized my spending for me, which is something nearly, I'm sure 100% it happened in the back end with just $55, assuming it was using Opus 4.1, and that's super good. Now, let's go to configuration. I'm gonna leave the audio test till the end because it added a lot. So you can see here, first thing I notice, you can see the voice over here. We have these metrics and the performance of the CPU, memory, and network of the system. I can later on check, and the latency, I can later on check if these are real-time or just visuals. I have the session history here with some more information. Again, they added. Let's go to configuration. You can see the UI is much better. Before, I didn't have this kind of card style. So basically everything was meshed together. Here you can see clearly where you're at. Let me change this to Summer. Let's try to the Marine voice. Okay, let's push this back to English. You are a helpful assistant in AI education. Let's save the configuration. Go back to the agent. I am so hopeful this works, because if it doesn't, I don't know if I will push the video, and that would have meant that I lost $55 for nothing. So let's hit start session.
Hello. I'm glad you're here. I have access to web search and automation tools, so feel free to ask if you need up-to-date information or help with tackling specific tasks.
It started in English. That is amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm here and ready to help you with any questions or information you might need. How about you? Anything specific you're curious about today?
For sure, this is upgrading to the GPT real-time new model. You can see the excitement in the tone that is not there in the old one. And you can see here, I get automatically a dashboard that is just doing some collection for me. I'm going to give you a crazy feedback on this. Now I want to check one thing. The old application had an N8N webhook that does actual actions for me. through this app. I'm going to see if the connection is still there and the agent can use it. Hey, can you search the internet for me about the last big announcement on AI in Dubai?
The latest big announcement about AI in Dubai was about Dubai AI Week 2025, unveiled by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid
Okay.
Al Maktoum.
Can you take all the details that you've collected and send it to me in an email?
I can help with sending that email. Would you want to confirm before I send it?
That is confirmed. You can send the email.
The email has already been sent with all the details about Dubai AI Week 2025. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to do.
And I got the email. You can see. So it did the internet search properly and it sent an email. So it's using my N8N webhook perfectly.
That sounds like everything worked perfectly with your integration using the webhook for interviews. I'm glad everything went smoothly. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, just let me know.
So that's it for the test. It did amazing. It did amazing. I didn't expect this. And you can see all the services are connected. So now I believe some of these elements in the UI, the agent profile didn't appear. That's a minor thing that I can fix easily. 99% of the heavy lifting of what I asked happened. I did not expect this amazing result. So I'm gonna make it simple because probably this was already a long video. I've tested this so many times. There is no state-of-the-art model I didn't attempt to build or fix such an agent with or through, using internet search, using whatever. And none of them even came close to fixing, in my opinion. And I know this will be controversial, and I'm gonna actually hit it on X and then even before this video goes out. I think Agent 3 by Replit is better than Claude Code, Codex, Manus, Cursor, all of that, maybe even combined. It is better. There's no way, you have to test it. I know how complex this fix was. It did everything in a single prompt. So it was a single shot fix. It had lots of issues. Clearly it solved 99% of them. Again, it single shot the whole application. One prompt, one nearly lazy prompt. I didn't really give it lots of details. There are many things that I have archived in Replit for future better AI. I think we're there. I think I will go to these old ideas I had. And actually now I feel I'm encouraged to do more. It is amazing. It is the best thing today out there. And kudos to Amjad and the bigger Replit team. I'm so proud of what these guys are developing and delivering to us in the market. They're changing everything. And I'm so happy every time I see that they're growing in revenue, they're making lots of money, they're getting lots of investment. It's a no-brainer to invest in such a company. And I have no further thing to say. It's the best tool out there now. Nothing beats it in vibe coding. You are barely vibe coding actually. I think vibe coding will go because you're Agent 3 coding now, I assume. So I'm glad you watched this episode. If you stuck around, try it for yourself. I know it can look expensive. You do not need to go with the highest, greatest model. Again, if you look at things into perspective, $55 for such an application is nothing. To put things into context, go to a developer and tell them how much would you cost such an application 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It won't be less than $5,000. So this is barely 1% of the original cost. So with this, thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with others, write me a comment, engage with me, tell me if you tried it. Do you think my conclusion is over the top or is accurate and spot on? And with this, thank you for watching and goodbye.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.